Hello everyone, welcome, my name is Adam, and today we're talking the Oscars, the Academy Awards. The nominations have been announced, and I thought let's get straight into it. Let's talk about a brief history of the Oscars, and at the end of the video I'll show you the nominations. So, getting straight into it, the Academy Awards, more popularly known as the Oscars, are awards for artistic and technical merit in the film industry. Given annually by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the awards are an international recognition of excellence in cinematic achievements as assessed by the Academy's voting membership. The various category winners are awarded a copy of a golden statuette, officially called the Academy Award of Merit, although more commonly referred to by its nickname, Oscar. The origins of the statuette's nickname Oscar have been traced to several sources, but the true origin of the nickname has never been determined. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences are located in the Beverly Hills area of California, the United States of America, and it's to recognize the achievement in the film industry. The awards were first presented in 1929, and winners received the Oscar. Winners are chosen from many categories, including Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, amongst others. The Academy also presents scientific and technical awards, special achievement awards, honorary awards, like the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award, the Irving G. Thalbert Memorial Award for Excellence in Producing, and the Gordon E. Sawyer Award for Technical Contributions, although these are not necessarily awarded annually. In August 2018, the Academy announced that it was adding an annual category for outstanding achievement in popular film to debut at the 2019 ceremony. However, following criticism and confusion, the Academy decided to postpone the introduction of the new category. Now, to be eligible for an award in a given year, a film must be publicly exhibited for paid admission for at least 7 consecutive days at a commercial theater in the Los Angeles County between January the 1st and midnight of December the 31st of that year, and must be shown or premiered in either 35mm, 70mm, or 24-frame progressive scan digital format. The exceptions to this rule include foreign language films which are submitted by their country of origin and need not have been shown in the United States. Documentaries and short films have different eligibility requirements and are officially submitted by their producers, whereas music awards require the musical artist to file a submission form. Only members of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences may nominate and vote for candidates for the Oscars. The Academy is divided into various branches of film production, and the nominees in each award category are chosen by the members of the corresponding branch. Thus, writers are nominating writers, directors are nominating directors, and so forth. In fact, the entire Academy membership nominates the candidates for Best Picture and votes to determine the winners in most of these categories, which means there are thousands of members on the committee. Aside from bestowing international recognition and prestige, an award can play a crucial role in the success of major winners. The Best Picture Award, for example, can significantly increase the box office earnings of that winning film, and for the actors and directors involved, the award often results in higher salaries, increased media attention, and better film offers. In other words, they are guaranteed a job the following year. Now, a little history. When it was founded in 1927, the awards committee was one of only several that had been formed by that new organization. And in fact, the first awards covered films that were released between August the 1st, 1927 and July the 31st, 1928. And the awards were presented on May the 16th, 1929, in a ceremony at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. The entire membership of the Academy had nominated candidates in every category. 5 boards of judges, one from each of the Academy's original branches, one for actors, one for writers, directors, producers, then determined the 10 candidates, which would then, one with the most votes in each category, would be narrowed down from 10 down to 3. And a central board of judges, which consisted of 1 member from each branch, selected the final winners. So you can see it was done very differently when it first started. Now, by the time the second annual award ceremony came around in 1930, the number of categories was reduced to 7, and the 2 major film awards were collapsed into one just called Best Picture. The Academy has since continued to make frequent alterations in rules, procedures, and categories. Indeed, so many changes have been made throughout the years that the only constant one that has remained seems to be the Academy's desire to remain flexible and to keep abreast of the industry's evolution. Among the most significant changes of the years has been the decision in 1933 to alter the eligibility period for award consideration to the actual calendar year, and then the addition of the supporting actor and actresses categories in 1936. Now, originally, the names of the award winners had been given to the press in advance, with the stipulation that the information was not to be revealed until after the awards presentation, so it could be received in the evening edition, so people would read it the next day. However, in one year, Los Angeles Times printed the names of the 1939 winners in an early evening edition before the ceremony, draining the event of all its suspense during one of the industry's biggest years. Thus, since then, the winners' names have always been a closely guarded secret until the official announcement at the awards ceremony. The Academy Awards were first televised in the United States in 1953, and since 1969, they have been broadcast internationally. By the late 20th century, the ceremony had become a major happening, viewed by millions, and notable hosts of the years have included Bob Hope, Johnny Carson, and Billy Crystal. Even red carpet interviews also became an integral part of the event, with much attention focused on the attendees' ensembles and their dresses. Steeply declining viewership in the late 2010s, however, led the Academy to announce several changes to the ceremony's broadcast, which included a limit to 3 hours, beginning in 2019, and an earlier air date which begins in 2020. Now, as you can see, over the years, there has always been rule changes, and you can see those changes on the Oscar websites. Rules are always reviewed annually by the individual branch and category committees, and the awards rules committee then reviews all the changes before presenting its recommendations to the Academy Board of Governors for approval. So every year there is a slight change, and other amendments to the rules include standard date changes and other housekeeping adjustments. So it's no big shock that a film that may have been nominated or may have been able to be nominated could no longer be nominated because of these rule changes. Now, like I said, in order to be shortlisted, you have to fulfill certain criteria. Now, there are hundreds of films that get shortlisted, and looking at eligibility for the 92nd Academy Awards, there are a lot of films on here, and I'm just going to quickly go down the list. And you're going to think to yourself, how come that wasn't even nominated? So, for instance, Abominable, for an animated feature, that was a really good film, and it didn't even get a nomination. So, there are a lot of people who look at this list and go, whoa, how come this film never even got a mention? How come this one was snubbed? And there could be many reasons for this. I mean, there are literally hundreds of films that do make that eligibility. And then that list is then shortlisted down to about 30. And from that 30 are then pulled those winners. So it is a tough crowd to beat when a film is released and is eligible. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get a nomination. It's such a shame, really, because there are so many films that are really good that don't even get a peek in. And for a moment, I just want to talk about, like, why does anybody care about the Oscars? Like, for me, I love film. I love the motion picture industry. I love films. I've been watching films all my life, you know? For me, it's like escapism. It's a mental holiday from my everyday life, you know? If I'm feeling sad or upset, I can watch a film and lose myself and go on a mental holiday and get involved in the story and the characters and enjoy that experience. So for me, films play an important role in my life. And for the actors and directors and producers and the artists involved in making these films, they truly do care about every film they work on, regardless if it's received poorly or if it's received with great merit and wins all the Oscars. To be honest, I truly believe actors and actresses and directors and writers, anybody who works in the film industry, does have quite a tough life, but the actors and actresses have a harder time because they live a completely different lifestyle and a completely different way to everybody else on this planet. Their job, they might get a job, let's say, for instance, Hugh Jackman got voice work done for Missing Link. Now, that may have only lasted for a few months, and then that was it on his involvement in that film. And he would have been paid a certain amount, and then he would have had to go off and find another job. And another instance would be in 1917, Richard Madden, who got a role in 1917. That might have amounted to a few months' work or even a year of his life. And he would have been paid a set fee, and then that would have been it. In other words, actors are hired for a short period of time and given one exact fee, and then that is to last them for the rest of their life, or for the rest of however long it will last. And then, of course, they will get another job, which will continue to pay for their lifestyle. Now, imagine if you turned up to your job, right, and your boss sat you down and said, listen, you've been in here for years, but you know what? We're changing the way we do this, okay? We're going to hire you for the next 2 years, and we're only going to pay you £10,000 or $10,000. And I know that might be an overestimation of what some people earn, but let's just, as an example, 2 years work, and you're going to get paid £10,000, okay? Oh, okay. So for the next 2 years, I've got something to do, and I've got 10 grand in my pocket. But that 10 grand's got to last me, I suppose, those 2 years. And then after those 2 years, I've then got to go and get another job. So I might have 10 grand in my pocket now, which is great. Let's go on holiday. But that's got to last me 2 years. Plus, I need another job lined up afterwards when I finish this one. You know, so after the 2 years is up, you know, another job, let's say, is lined up. And they say, right, we're going to give you 20 grand for 3 years, okay? So that 20 grand now is going to last and stretch out for 3 years. And I've only got a job for the next 3 years, in which case I need to go find and sort another job for when that one ends. And this is the lifestyle that actors and actresses live, constantly not knowing where their next paycheck is coming from. You know, having money that will only last them a certain amount of time. It's a very tough life, and a lot of people, I think, forget that. Imagine if your boss did this to you and said, listen, Gary, we're only going to pay you this amount, and you're going to leave this job after so many years, you know, that, or so many months. That's a tough thing to ask, to be honest. I'd be really upset if that happened to me. It's not a guaranteed paycheck like the 9-to-5 people have. You know, they have job security, they have a pension. Actors and actresses don't have any of this. So an Oscar, which will really help them get their next job, is a very important thing to them. Now, to me, Oscars don't mean anything, okay? Every film is a great piece of art, and I enjoy watching a lot of variety of films. For me, when the Oscar season comes out, for me, it's not about who's going to win what. Yes, I get wrapped up in, I want this film for Best Picture, or I want that guy for Best Director, or that woman for Best Director. You know, it's not about that. It's about, to be honest, for me, when I'm watching the Oscars, I get to see the stars coming down the red carpet. I get to see all the pomp and pizzazz of the press and the Oscars and the movie industry and the tribute and celebration that comes with that. And everybody is celebrating their love of film. Okay, that's what I truly love about watching the Oscars, is you get to see all the cool stars, you know. And when the ceremony begins, what do they do with that production? Who's going to host it? And how is it going to play out? And yes, you do make bets with your friends or your relatives or yourself with who will win what award, but at the end of the day, they're all winners because they actually got to make that film. You know, let's say we've got 200 films that came out last year, you know, and I know that's probably a big underestimation. There were probably a lot more films that were made, but let's just say there were 200 films made in 2019. You know, for every film that is made, there's 5 others that never got made. You know, never got made because the money wasn't there, the talent wasn't there, or for whatever reason, maybe the script even wasn't there, you know? And so for all the films that get made and are tributed at the Oscars, nobody ever really talks about the films that never get made and are never come to fruition, and the jobs that never are taken. And that's really sad to me, you know, that what could have been with all the scripts that are floating around. Oh, this didn't get made that year, but you know, maybe it'll get made next year. You know, that's the one thing I like about this industry is that a script is never dead. It's just put on hold or is waiting to be developed. You know, so this is truly a tribute of all the films that were made, and the fact that it got made, everyone's a winner. You know, the people involved in making that film already are winners, so it makes no difference who wins what award. It does to the actors and the artists involved in the industry, because it assures them of their future work, and it's a tough industry to be in. There are thousands of people that flock to Hollywood and never make it, or end up in another type of industry. You know, it's a tough industry to get into. So the awards do mean a lot to them. Don't mean much to me, but I enjoy watching them nonetheless. Right, let's have a look at what actually got nominated at the Oscars. Now, I always feel that the Oscars, the Academy Awards, have always got a certain, not an agenda, but a responsibility, and therefore they are very conscious of their voting methods. And I really do feel that certain films, certain subject matters, and certain people definitely would not get a nomination because of a number of factors, or that the nominations are steered towards a certain result because of the current situation of society. I do believe the Academy Awards are just very aware that whatever they choose, they may be making a statement about that they acknowledge, or that they allow, or that they condone a certain type of either behavior, or a group of individuals, or a practice that is shown within the film. And I do believe that certain film subject matters do get kind of overlooked on purpose, and not because of the merit of the film, but because of the subject matter itself. And that is why I believe some results of both nominations and the actual winners can be like, huh? Really? That one? You know, at the end of the day, it makes no difference really who wins, who doesn't get the award. Everybody who creates a film is a winner in my estimation, because they got to fulfill that dream for that creative film that they made, and everyone wins. So in coming up videos, I will be announcing my personal picks for the Oscars and what I believe will win, picked by the Academy Award. And they are two very different results. So stay tuned in the next video coming at the end of January. Thank you for watching this. Take care and goodbye.